Making friends as an adult. So, you lost all of your friends from childhood, middle school, and high school, right? I'm just kidding. Making friends as an adult is a very interesting subject to approach, and I think that a lot of us find ourselves, losing touch with people, right? We kind of feel that things are slipping away, right? It's very interesting because I have more so let go of people. I've cut people off. I've decided to end relationships because I have noticed that where I am headed is different from where the other person or the other people are headed. And that's okay. There's a very good chance that if you knew somebody in childhood or middle school or high school, that things are just going to fall out of place and the relationship is just going to, um, you know, end altogether. And that's okay. But what's important to understand about making friends as an adult is that it's drastically different from making friends when you're in childhood, when you're in middle school, or when you're in high school. There's a very specific reason why. When you are making friends earlier on in life, you are not entirely boundaried, right? You are more so on the side of either having permeable boundaries, just learning about boundaries, or you are boundaryless. You're also in social survival. So it's likely that you're looking for relationships from a place of lack, right? You've been taught that there's something wrong with you, or that you're defective, or that you just lack something. And other people out there have the answer to your life, to your, whatever it is that you lack, right? So there's a good chance that a majority of the relationships that you've cultivated throughout your life have been based around that lacking, right? And so as you grow, when you start to notice different things about your relationships, there's a good chance that you're going to look at your relationships and be like, hmm, I don't know. Right? There is not a sense of certainty there, right? And that's there to show you something. That's there to show you that you have grown, you have evolved, which is natural. And somebody that you met years ago is just not compatible for having a relationship with, for being friends with, and that's okay. But a lot of people, they have a big problem with this. I've noticed because I've seen people kind of trying to like hold on to friendships and stuff. I've seen people trying to hold on to relationships. And what's interesting is that the more that you try to hold on, the worse it's going to get because you're going to continue a pattern that was rooted in childhood that you started, right? There's a good chance that the relationship is just codependent, right? That you are coming from a place of feeling lack within yourself, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like they have something that you need, and it's just not true. So, with that, the boundarylessness shows through, right? And what's interesting is that boundarylessness is actually very unattractive. Boundarylessness shows that your sense of self is not fully formed, right? So therefore, you are attracting based on that. You're attracting based on how can I get this person to validate me? Okay, I'm going to enter a relationship with this person, whether it's, romantic or whether it's just friendship. And that's just the way that that is, right? And it unfolds accordingly. But what's important to understand about making friends as an adult as compared to, earlier on in life is that it's going to be a lot more fulfilling. I've seen people thinking that it's very challenging to make friends as an adult. I understand that there are probably people that you grew up with that you're very comfortable with, right? However, the relationship that you have with them is very superficial. It's probably based around politics. It's probably based around noise, nothing, right? But you're comfortable with that. But that also says everything that you need to know about yourself. And the interesting thing here, too, is that you settle for that because part of you doesn't want to put in the effort to become better and more whole as a person, because that journey in and of itself is not easy at all. It requires you to break yourself down, to look at yourself more thoroughly, to face pain, to sit with pain, and to heal. And that is not an easy pursuit at all. So, you settle. You allow yourself to remain boundaryless, and you allow yourself to stay in relationships with people that are just not compatible with you anymore. Now let's look at making friends as an adult. By the way, the one that I was just previously talking about is patterned from childhood, from upbringing, from middle school, from high school, from all that stuff, from familiarity. Let's look at making friends as an adult, okay? What does it look like? Well, it looks like somebody who is likely much more aware of themselves going out and finding people that are similar to them, that are compatible with them, right? Again, whether it's romantic or just a friendship. Now, this is very important to understand. If you haven't become aware of yourself enough to know what it is that messed you up, your trauma, right? There's a good chance that you're still attracting the same type of people into your life, right? If you grew up learning codependency, for example, right? There's a good chance that as an adult, you're still attracting similar relationship dynamics because you haven't done the work to recognize what it is that messed you up and actually heal those parts of yourself and fully integrated self, right? So, making friends as an adult, here is what I believe is necessary as a foundation. You absolutely need to know yourself. You need to know what it is that messed you up. You need to know what it is that, traumatized you and everything. And you need to be doing the work to heal that. Because if you don't, you're just going to continue repeating patterns from childhood, from middle school, and from high school of lack, of trauma, and you're just going to continue attracting the same type of people into your life. So just to make it very clear, it is a healthy thing and a natural thing to fall out of relationships with people. People that you met early on in childhood, people that you met in middle school, and people that you met in high school, there's a good chance that they are just pattern repeats from earlier on in life because you attracted them as a result of ideas, belief systems, thoughts, and feelings that you had about yourself that are outdated from earlier on in your life. So don't be afraid to let go of people because there's a good chance that they're just not meant to be in your life anymore. And that's just the reality of things. So making friends as an adult looks like figuring out what it is that messed you up if you haven't already, trauma, right? Doing the work in a professional setting with somebody who actually knows what they're talking about and is going to explore the deep-rooted trauma with you. Doing the work to heal it, and then recognizing what it is that you actually want for yourself. And then you'll attract differently.